like we said in the opening, let's talk about Chance the Rapper and him saying he's going to donate $1 million to the Chicago public school system. Chicago is our man on the street in Chicago, but we've been talking about this since last week about his donation, him giving all that money to the schools, how it came about, and what effect do we think it's going to have. Anybody got any thoughts on that one?
I think we talked about this. I commend him for actually putting his money where his mouth is. Because I believe a week or so ago he had a meeting with the governor of Illinois, and it didn't go too well.
Right.
I have a lot of family members: my mom, my father, aunts, cousins, my sister. They're all teachers or in the school system here. And lately what they've been doing, they've been furlough days and things like that, and they've been talking about actually cutting the school year short for the year. Usually they're supposed to end in June 28th for the school year. It got pushed back to June 1st. Now they're talking about ending the school year in May, and just cutting those days and just furlough the teachers and not paying them, and then essentially you're cutting out learning time with the students. So I commend him from doing that, because the reports are when he met with the governor, because here in Illinois or here in Chicago it's supposed to be basically a $200 to $300 million budget freeze, or they don't have that money to actually.
It's a shortfall. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's a shortfall. But at the same time, you really can't believe that, because they plant $1 million trees every other day downtown. But anyway,
right.
They say it's a shortfall and they can't invest it back into the schools.
Right.
A lot of what they're doing here, they're building a lot of charter schools here. They're actually closing down schools, and then when they and they're actually building schools in different neighborhoods. They're still building brand new schools, but they can't help the schools that's already performing right now. So I commend him to putting his money where his mouth is. Only thing
do you
is,
think $1 million is? I mean, $1 million though is it more than a gesture, or do you think it'll be something that from the outsider's perspective, it's a nice gesture to me.
Right.
To say that I believe in this, and it's it's going for a specific thing.
Right.
But does the gesture, in your opinion, or anybody's opinion, please, guys, jump in, or in anybody's opinion, does the gesture do anything to really, change the situation that would go get it moving, one tick either way, even if it's just one tick, does it get it moving one way or the other?
Well, I think he did it to get it moving, him as an up-and-coming rapper, and him, pledging $1 million, that's a lot, to somebody at his stature. That's, saying I'm pledging $1 million. So maybe he was thinking, maybe other celebrities, maybe other rappers, maybe other investors will come in like, okay, I'll put up $20 million. Maybe Oprah come in and I'll throw up $15 million. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was a good gesture. It's just, I think that's the farthest going to go. It's just being a gesture. That's what I believe. So,
because I don't see anybody else, I know D-Blaze and I talked about this over the week. I don't see anybody else jumping up, okay, I'll match you $1 million,
right.
I'll see you $1 million and I'll raise you $2 million, I don't see.
Right, that's why I think he thought it was going to be like that, from the Kanye West to the Commons to, the Chicago natives. There are in they're celebrities and making money. I think he thought it was going to be like that, but unfortunately, as of right now, it didn't turn out like that.
So it may just be stuck there at that one spot.
Oh yeah, he just bought Mayor Rahm Emanuel and the governor, some Maybachs. That's what he just did. So
some what?
Cars, some Maybachs.
I know. I was saying what, like why?
Yeah. I was trying to understand what.
Oh,
Because he's got some deep ties with that whole, political apparatus over there with his, his family and where he comes from. And yeah, I don't know too many rappers who can get a meeting with the governor.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any. I mean, y'all are in the, in the whole hip hop world more than I am, but I don't. Is that a normal thing for them to, just to meet with the governor?
No. Probably the mayor, but the governor, yeah, that's a little bit higher, yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So, I guess we'll have to just wait and see. Because like you said, I don't know if the gesture was an interesting gesture, and it obviously, brought him a lot of attention. But I don't know if it, I don't see it, if it's going to make a shift public opinion, because if the public school system is seen as it's being portrayed as, failing and dysfunctional, which is usually the reason that people, especially in government, especially white folks who want to make sure that they get their money out and put it where they want it to, they don't have a problem letting that fail. And for the governor to come back and say, "Oh, we don't have the money," but they have, they always have money for other things, but for fixing the public school system, when they can put it somewhere else and it benefit other people,
Right.
I'm not sure that's a high priority. And then you have people like Oprah who live in Chicago or come from Chicago, and they've been mum. The only one I think that said anything of any high profile was Michelle Obama, and we talked about last week. They get ready to get that check. They getting in their bidding war for that. What, each of them up for $60 million for their memoirs.
Yeah.
I hear Michelle say, "Okay, Chance, that was a good idea. You know what? I'm gonna match you."
Right. Yeah.
And that's where she's from too.
Yeah. She's from Chicago. Obama's not from Chicago. He spent a lot of time here, but she's from Chicago. Yeah. So.
The school system itself. When I was in one of my criminal justice classes 2 years ago, we actually touched base on that topic and how, the inmates in jails, their education is more important to put forth, which I'm not knocking that idea, but what I was trying to get at with the professor at the time was, why not put the money and the time and effort into the lower, communities, that their education, so this way 10 years, 20 years down the line, they're not in the position to become inmates and then have to get an education and then have to worry about, as an adult, okay, it's time for me to buckle down, I'm stuck in jail, let me try to learn something, and given the opportunity ahead of time. And his reaction, which I agreed after a while, was it takes too long. If we put the time and effort in then, when they're young, then we don't know, how high they would go. So it was like, okay, I see why they think that way. They want the gratification of right now. Plus, they're already making money, behind the scenes in those federal prisons with us or those inmates, in there doing what they're doing at a low minimum wage, making what they're making. So it's a tough, pill to swallow, but it's the reality. They don't see our education as priority.
Right. Well, and I think, it really does, tie into, the whole education system, the whole education conversation, especially around black children and, in public education.